And of course, The Last of Us 2 just came out, right? So this is part 1. And this game's old, so it's good looking, but it doesn't look nearly as great as the current generation. Because, you know, we've learned more and to have more processing power in terms of technology. Yeah, and everyone's very excited about this series again because... Spores. Oops, spores. Uh-oh. Because the part 2 came out. And it's really... This not only is this a great game, but this is what I'd consider overall a mastercraft game. You know, like there are some development studios that are just leagues ahead of other developers. And one of the things that makes this studio really smart is that there were some of the first people to really take the acting from the actors for the characters in the game, and they decided to do motion capture. I don't know how much technology you know, Ben, but so you know they captured all of their animations, and then they captured all of their facial expressions to help with the animation. And then the tech artist would then clean up all that data and then get that to be animation data that they can stream into the engine. I'm a software producer, game developer, so I sometimes ramble a bit. But it's not just that. I mean, technically their games are fantastic. They push the hardware, the Sony hardware, PlayStation hardware in this case, to also be more and more lifelike, right? The better the voice acting, the better the characters move, the better that they animate, the more convincing the performances are. But you still have to tell a quality story. And so they've always made it their mission to be best in class for these things. And the way they build out their worlds, they build out the characters in them, it's fantastic. I mean, they've definitely hooked me. And then on top of all of that, that's just like one piece of what you need. That's, you know, technology is one, content's the other, but then you have to have the design and gameplay, time and opportunity to bring the whole thing together, because these things are 3, 4, 5 years in the making, sometimes longer. You know, they're somewhere between 50 and 150, 250, sometimes more $1 million. So it's a lot of people for a long period of time. And at the end of that, they have to debug it and make sure it all kind of works and that it's fun, that it's engaging, that it's compelling. It's amazing. Great games get made at all. But this is best in class. So some things that makes this game amazing. I mean, I'll tell you this. And probably film directors will tell you the same thing. No amount of testing, no amount of talent, you know, you never know how great something is, or sometimes not. You never know. Sometimes people just decide something's not great because of a couple mistakes, or bad timing, or it's not the right time, or it's too like everything else that's come out around its time, right? So there are lots of different reasons, but one thing is true, and I know this because I've launched many games over the course of my career. You don't truly know. You only have your best guess. It's kind of terrifying. I mean, if you undercook it, you know, Miyamoto will tell you, it's one of his quotes, right? He's a very famous video game maker. You know, you release a bad game, it's forever bad. You release a game, if you don't release a bad game and continue to work on it until it's a great game, you can release a great game. But it's, you know, you can't really put it back in the can. Now in the modern day, there are cases where games aren't great, and so now that games are more like a service in a lot of cases, then the game can become much better over the course of time, and developers will work through that, and you know, like that's a cool thing too.